Alright, welcome to round one. We've won the die roll. We will play first and try to live long enough to play our guys. Yeah, that's actually a pretty sweet starting hand, so we are going to keep that. See if our opponent mulligans real quick. That's a pretty good starting hand, I would say. A little light on creatures at 14, so going to have to stall the ground long enough to get big guys in there and hope that we can win a little bit of a slow game. Alright, well, our opponent's not here yet, so I'm going to pause. Alright, and we're back. So let's see how this goes. These are the grill decks I build usually. I try to get some delay in there, and then I try to run out some big guys, so we'll see how it works. Alright, well that's a blue card. Maybe this is the one Simic deck. Or maybe it's a Dimir deck. This guy probably should have went Simic. Alright, I'm not super worried about an Incursion Specialist at the moment. Run out the Croconura so I can start evolving him. If I go Scab Clan into Slaughterhorn, he evolves twice. Alright, he's got a deck that makes his Incursion Specialist unblockable. So be it. Alright, well, I guess if your deck's full of Pit Fight, you draw lots of Pit Fight. Not that that's a bad thing at all. So we're going to run out the Scab Clan Charger, pass it back, and try to stop some air beats with the Croconura. This deck is weak generally against flyers, as I've said before, but Croconura helps. Croconura is a beast. Alright, well that's pretty good, especially if he passes here. Alright, well, can't get that lucky. Alright, well, gonna pit fight the Death Cult Rogue. Alright. Interesting. I mean, I could just wipe out both these guys right now with a Clan Defiance. That seems okay. Is that greedy? Is that 4 cards? Is it better to wait until I have something better? I'm gonna pit fight no matter what, so I think Clan Defiance against these two guys right now is fine. I actually think that's pretty fine. I usually hold it quite a bit longer, but get rid of those guys. Swing? That seems pretty okay, and that's what I'm gonna do. I love Clan Defiance. I don't know if I've mentioned that a million times or not, but ugh, the card is just so good. If you like a rare better than Clan Defiance, a non-mythic rare better than Clan Defiance, let me know in the comments what you think is better. I'm not saying it's the absolute best, but I can't think of one better in Limited. Stolen Identity is supposed to be pretty good, although I haven't really ran it much myself. Alright, we're going to go ahead and run the Slaughterhorn out there first, so that our guy evolves. And I don't think we need to pit fight this guy right now, although I guess, I mean, we could do that. and get in for 5. No, it doesn't seem like I need to do that. I'll just keep my Scabland Charger back, and next turn I can swing with my Croconura as well. I think that's fine. Alright, well... not much you can do about that. I mean, I could pit fight right now, but there's no really any need to do that. If I wanted to pit fight, I could have pit fought before. This is probably my favorite common in the set, as I say in just about every video. If I see this pack 1, unless there's just some bomb rare, I'll take this and try to go into blue or black. Or blue. Can't speak tonight. I will try to go into black, blue, or black-white. Mostly black-white, because I just think it's better. Here I might kill the Metropolis Sprite. I don't have any really great ways to deal with flying at the moment. He's just gonna ping away for 1 or 2. I think maybe I wait, swing, and then pit fight if he tries to like triple block or do something crazy. Then a Ruination Worm drops. Yeah, I think that's good. Because he might try to do some sort of like double or triple block here. Let's see. If I swing here, he'll probably block here and here, maybe. Then I can just pit fight across, keep my guy alive. I think that's okay. I think there's a way that I mean, I guess it depends on what he does exactly, but... okay, that's a possibility too. With the Ruination Worm and 2 pit fights, if he doesn't have removal for the Ruination Worm, it seems like I'm in pretty good shape here. That's a big if. I mean, he could have another Grizzly Spectacle. Or Soul Ransom. Ugh. Alright, well, Soul Ransom, that's pretty good. So clearly I'm going to have to get my guy back. Let's see what we draw, and whether we want to get rid of 2 pit fights or a pit fight and whatever we draw. And we're definitely taking our guy back. Alright, so there you have it. Sadly enough, it does come back into play with Summoning Sickness, but, you know, them's the breaks, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and attack with both again, in case he wants to try to double block my Slaughterhorn. I don't think he's going to do that, but... alright, now... so, I've played against Soul Ransom several times. It seems okay, because if I didn't have cards there, it would be obviously a huge game changer. I mean, it is anyway, because I have to get rid of one of my good cards and another non-good card. I mean, if I drew something sick there, then I have a really tough choice. The only thing I don't like about it is you give your opponent the choice as to when they want to, what they want to do. And that's not really ever that great, although the options aren't good. Discard 2 cards, they draw 2 cards, or you lose a creature. So, double Soul Ransom. Alright, well, that's something. Double Soul Ransom. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna get rid of this pit fight too. Have to keep our 7/6. So, you know, it's pretty unfortunate, but there's not much I can really do, and he keeps drawing cards. So, I mean, I guess if you're gonna have 1,000,000 Soul Ransoms, I guess it's pretty good. It did put me to no cards and him to 6 cards. So, you know, like I said, it's not bad. I mean, if it said pay 4, your opponent discards 2, you draw 2, which is kind of what it says. If you have cards and everything, obviously it doesn't exactly say that, but pay 4, your opponent discards 2, you draw 2. I mean, that's not bad for 4 mana. It's probably not it's not enough to push me into Dimir, but I would play it in Dimir for sure. I would personally take the Grizzly Spectacle over it, but it looks like, I mean, he's got some okay stuff going here. He got rid of several good cards. Croconuras, Pit Fights. Alright, well that's good. I'm not a big fan of 6 open mana with 6 cards in hand. What could you be running with 6 open mana? Totally Lost. Aetherize. Totally Lost or Aetherize. Killing Glare, I guess. We saw that. Did see an Aetherize too. I don't know that I have really any option other than to swing here with everybody anyway. I mean, I guess I can cleave my Scab Clan Charger back, and well, then he can try to double block here, I guess. That's okay. I think that's what I'm going to do, and if it's like some sort of Aetherize or something, I'll just have a guy still on the board. Hybridization. Alright, well. So, I mean, this guy's deck looks pretty good. As Dimir decks go. Had me discard 4 cards, then turns my guy into a 3/3. So... I'm actually not even sure. I mean, I guess he must be ahead since he's at 5 cards and I have 1. I guess he's got to be ahead. Dual Soul Ransom, I guess. That hybridization wasn't really great either. So we'll see. Do I want to take 2? Okay, here we go. Alright, well, there's your answer. We do not want to take a hit from a Metropolis Sprite. In case you were wondering, the answer is no, you do not want to take a hit off a Metropolis Sprite. I like Shadow Slice too. So, I mean, I would say this guy's deck's pretty good, really. I would say still anyone's game. That's not what I was trying to draw, obviously. That's okay. I would say it's fine to attack with both these guys. If he wants to double block here, then I guess he double blocks there, but he loses an Extort guy. Wow. That's a ballsy take. All I need is a Blood Rush creature to win. But I guess he figures his chances are better to play it that way than to not play it that way. I guess if he plays 2 spells, this guy can't be blocked. He deals 3 and then he double extorts for 5 and he wins. That may be what happens here. I mean, if I'm him, that's my plan, right? Play 2 spells, double extort, make this guy unblockable, win. Okay. That's just a win. So 2 Shadow Slices. 2 Soul Ransoms, a Grizzly Spec. That's a pretty good deck. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty good deck. I still think I had to attack with both those guys, because I can't just sit around and wait. I still don't know how... See, if I have this guy, I win last turn. If I draw this instead of Forest, I win. So I don't know how he takes there. I guess he just figures that's his best chance to win, and it worked out. So, let's see. I don't think I need a Mark for Death. Don't need that. I don't need a Spire Tracer. Naturalize, I guess, is pretty good. Does have a good several good auras. So that I'll play that. What do I want to take out for that? Act of Treason? I guess Act of Treason would have been fine on any of his well, I guess he plays Shadow Slice and then swings right then, so Act of Treason's probably not that amazing. An Act of Treason wouldn't have been very good that game. I guess Act of Treason is what I don't want. I still think 18 lands is the way to go. We could have played anything by the time we needed to there. Well, I still think playing Clan Defiance early was the right play too. That didn't really affect us. It just cleared the board. So I guess we'll go to game 2. I don't think I played anything wrong in that game, but you know, his deck's pretty good. Two Soul Ransoms, a Grizzly Spectacle, unblockable guys, and a couple Shadow Slice. So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, here we go. That's pretty good. So we'll run it out there. Alright, I'll pause again. Alright, and we're back. So, I think game 1 his deck just was pretty good. So, you know, sometimes you're just going to lose to good decks. Seems like he played it pretty well. It was a little gutsy to not block, since any Blood Rush wins me the game on my last swing, but maybe he figured if I had that, I would have swung with all 3 guys. Not sure. Not sure what the thought process was. Maybe he might have just thought his best chance of winning. So, can't fault someone there. He was right. Totally worked out. You know, sometimes you say, well, you know, they got a Blood Rush, they got a Blood Rush. You know, and if he blocks and loses a creature, he probably doesn't win. At least not the next turn, so. Alright, well, we're getting to our big guys now. Just need to draw a couple of those lands. Should be okay. Interesting question here. Is do we want to get rid of the Bane Alley Broker with a Xertos Swine? I don't think so. Alright, well that's kind of annoying for us, sort of. Alright, was really hoping to draw a land there. If I draw a land, all of a sudden I'm pretty beatsy. Okay. Well, if I swing with both these guys, he just blocks here and nothing happens. So, and And the Scorch Walker is not going to do much for... I guess it evolves our Croconera. I think maybe waiting and blood rushing is better with the Scorch Walker, especially with a 1/1 that keeps going back to his hand. I mean, a 1/1's not going to... It's really nothing other than giving our guy a +1/+1 counter, which isn't bad, but not really what I want to do for this. Maybe I was greedy. Maybe I should have played the Xertos Swine to kill the Bane Alley Broker. So we'll see what we draw next turn. Alright, well with the Greenside Watcher, it doesn't make it so we can do much this turn, but next turn... And again, if I just attack with the Croconera, like, it just blocks here, so that doesn't do much for us. So we're going to hold back. Next turn, we're going to start running out either Xertos Swines or Ruination Worms. Ruination Worm. This guy's deck seems pretty good. Alright, so now we're at 7? 7 seems good. I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think maybe a Xertos Swine first. A Xertos Swine first, and then if I need to untap the gate and play Naturalize, I can do that. And there might be counter spells and stuff in here. He's holding 6 mana, but we got. Ah, shit! I could use that pit fight. All right, well. Let's see what happens here. I do like Bane Alley Broker. It is slow, but on a game like this, it's gonna be pretty good for him. So maybe our big slow deck isn't gonna match up so good against this deck. And the Mortar Strider is actually gonna be pretty annoying for us because the Xertos Swine isn't gonna do much. He just keeps playing this guy over and over again. So I mean, do need several big guys for it to become good. Alright, well we can play a Giant Ataphage, but we are going to run out another I think we're going to run out of Ruination Worm, and if there's removal, the Ruination Worm will probably bait it out. The plan is to keep playing stuff until it looks like there's no removal. Because the Giant Ataphage... Okay, there you go. If the Giant Ataphage gets in, we probably win. But if he has more removal, if he can remove both these guys, we're just sunk. Nothing you can do against that. I mean, counterspells everything you play, and then has removal. I mean, you know, he's got at least one. Oh, there's a Sapphire Drake. Alright. You know he's got at least one Grizzly Spectacle in there. Alright. I think that is Yahtzee, right? So, kill this, a Bane Alley Broker, and stub his guy. I think that's gotta be the play. I can't really start taking a ton of damage with this in the air. So yeah, that is going to be the play. I can get in for 5? 5. 5 seems good. I mean, we're just gonna go ahead and play it all. We still might lose, but I don't know if I've mentioned that Clan Defiance is just a beating. In case I haven't, Clan Defiance is legit. Super legit. I didn't see any reason to not tap all my mana. I could have saved, you know, like one. Again, just going to hold back with the Croconaur here, and if he... I don't think he's going to be swinging. So we're still going to play the Swine into the Adaphage, just to make sure. If there's a Grizzly Spectacle, I expect the Swine to find it. Alrighty, well, we're about to find out if he has Grizzly Spectacle or Soul Ransom. I mean, his deck is very controlling. All these Psychic Strikes, Bane Alley Broker, 2 Soul Ransoms, and 2 Soul Ransoms and a Grizzly Spectacle. I mean, if he's got some other counterspell here, we just fold up. Alright, well, I mean, geez, you know, what can you say? What can you say? Not a whole lot. Let's see. I think we gotta go for the Giant Adaphage here, and hope it works. I don't think I have any other options at this point. He's down to 1 card, so hopefully with all of that removal, we baited it out of him. If we didn't bait it out of him, and he still got some sort of like Grizzly Spectacle, I mean, we just were not going to win this game. There's nothing. I think we played it about as well as you could do. Alright. Alright, so between a Scorchwalker and a Pit Fight, 1, 2, 3. Between a Scorchwalker and a Pit Fight, I mean, the Giant Adaphage has to get in, barring a Grizzly Spectacle. If it's a Grizzly Spectacle, like I said, game over. Can't win. Can't win. I mean, he could block with everybody. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I give him +5/+1s. I mean, he deals a ton of damage. Yeah, and that's got to be the play. It's just to swing with the Giant Adaphage. If it's Grizzly Spectacle, we just weep in the corner in the fetal position like a baby. There's nothing else we can do about that. Alright, so that's kind of what we thought. Alright, so that's going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7, and we're going to deal 12. So that is going to do some damage. Twelve, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll go ahead. I guess maybe we should have pit fought before. If I think I did that right. 5, 2, 1, 4. That should, I think that'll do it. I guess I do want to play this out. Normally I'd hold it back just in case maybe they think I have something, but since I forgot to tap the Guildgate, I want to be able to, I don't know what I want to be able to do, but okay, so there you go. So that's the end of game 2. Again, everyone's down on big drops, and it is big and slow, but you could see we were behind on that game. Although, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, maybe I played something wrong, but it really feels like playing the Xertos Swine, the Ruination Worm, and the Xertos Swine, and then top deck the Clam Defiance. I think baited out as much removal as we could for the Giant Ataphage. That Naturalize worked really well. If I had another one, I'd probably play a second one. But I don't, so I won't, because I can't. Well, we'll go to game 3 and see what happens. But again, Giant Ataphage, if it gets in there one time, you're probably going to win. And this time, holding a Scorchwalker worked out about perfectly. Might have been, it probably would have worked anyway with the pit fight. But anyway, let's go to game 3 and keep fingers crossed. Here we go for game 3. Probably not going to surprise him quite as much this time, because now I'll know about the Scorchwalker, and he knows about the Giant Ataphage. But this is a pretty decent hand for our deck. I think this one could go either way, to be honest. I think this guy's deck's actually pretty good. He seems to be playing it pretty well. So I think this one could definitely go either way. I can stop drawing lands now. I can play all my cards almost. If I draw a Giant Ataphage, I'll get there eventually. Okie dokie. Well, now I wish that I had saved a Greenside Watcher. It's okay. Croconura into Croconura. And I mean, I could swing with the Greenside Watcher and use a Zertos Swine as a Blood Rush, but I don't want to do that to get rid of this guy. Alright. So this one... Alright. This one looks like it's going to be a pretty controlling type of game. I mean, he can sacrifice it to kill a Giant Ataphage, but I don't know. We'll see. Pit fight's good. Now that's pretty good also. If I mean, we know he has 2 counter spells also, so we got to be careful on that with the Giant Ataphage. Don't want to walk into one of 2 counter spells. I mean, he's just got so much removal. It's going to be pretty difficult. It's going to be a pretty difficult game to win. I did get a Zertos Swine out there, though. If I do get a Giant Ataphage out there and it lives, Gruul Charm probably gets me there. Alright, didn't want those lands anyway. Got another one anyway. Alright, well, he's at 4. I mean, here I'm just going to swing with the Zertos Swine. I guess he'll probably block and sacrifice a guy? I mean, I guess that's probably the right play, but block with the Corpse Blockade, sacrifice like an Incursion Specialist. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I think I have to be all in on Giant Ataphage. Maybe swinging's better, but I mean, you would just block and sacrifice, right? Maybe here we swing, and if he blocks and sacrifices, then he loses 2 guys. Alright, I think that's worth it. I trade a Corpse Blockade and another guy. Luckily it doesn't have a Mortis Trader out there, because that would be bad. Oh, Metropolis, right. Okay. I could try to force through the Giant Ataphage here, but it seems like with 3 mana, that is a bad decision, and I'm going to hold off, because I do have... Well, I can't really attack, but... The thing is, if he gets to 4 mana, he's going to have ways to deal with it. So, alright, well that is the perfect card. Zertot and a Clan Defiance. Alright, well, it's about to get real, ladies and gentlemen. So we need him to not draw. Actually, no, we're going to go ahead and tap out like this. We need him to not draw a land. Because if he draws a land, we're in trouble. I mean, if he draws a land, Giant Ataphage is a gowner. Here we are going to swing with these guys. And if he draws, I mean, if he plays a Soul Ransom, then we're going to pitch our cards. No land means no Soul Ransom and no Grizzly Spectacle. That also probably means I win. Yeah. Alright. That's a good card too. So here, 3, 6, 8, 10. So here we're going to play the Gruul Charm to make it so that... Actually, can I just... No, I can't just win, I don't think. What, I deal 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I deal 13 this way. That seems good. If he wants to block, yes! Alright, so him getting mana screwed is the way we won that game. I'll take it. I will take it. I honestly think, I mean, Incursion Specialist isn't amazing. Metropolis Sprite's okay, but it is a good evasion for the Psychic Strikes. Gutter Skulk, you know, it's fine. Sage's Road Denizen is pretty good against our little guys. Corpse Blockade's okay. I really think playing a 7th land, not playing Giant Ataphage, made him tap out to play the Sprite. I mean, maybe he would have traded anyway, so he could have had it. But this 3 mana looks a lot like Psychic Strike to me. We saw 2 of them, so I think holding back and playing it after he tapped out was the right way to go. I feel like we played that round pretty well, so good job to us, and I'll see you guys in round 2.